You've tried everything, haven't you? The diets, the supplements, the doctors, the affirmations whispered, half believing. You've read the books, listened to the meditations, done your best to stay positive, and yet somewhere inside, the pain still speaks, the body still remembers, the heart still tightens when no one's watching. What if the missing piece wasn't another practice, but a single thought? One gentle shift in the way you speak to yourself, one new lens through which you see life. Healing, after all, doesn't begin in hospitals or with pills. It begins in thought, and one thought can change everything. For years, we've been taught that healing is complicated, that it must hurt before it helps, that it takes endless effort, that we must earn relief. But the truth is far simpler. The mind that created tension can also dissolve it. The thought that once made the body contract can be replaced with one that lets it breathe again. You are not broken. You are a being of infinite intelligence, temporarily hypnotized by fear. Every cell in your body listens to the language of your mind. And for too long, that language has been filled with worry, guilt, and unspoken blame. You can change that story. You can begin right now. Think of how many times you've told yourself, something's wrong with me. Every repetition became a seed. The body heard it and responded. Muscles tightened, breath shortened, energy dimmed. And soon the body began to reflect the thought that began it all. I am not safe. I am not enough. But what happens when you plant a different thought? When you whisper, I am safe now. I am loved. I am healing. The body listens again. Cells reorganize. Muscles soften. The heartbeat steadies. Life responds to your permission. Healing doesn't require force. It requires belief. I know it sounds simple, almost too simple, but remember, the most powerful truths are the sun doesn't need to shout to warm the earth. In the same way, a loving thought doesn't need to be dramatic to change your life. It only needs to be consistent, repeated, felt. Maybe you doubt this because you've tried before and felt nothing. You said the words, but part of you didn't believe them. That's okay. Healing begins the moment you intend to believe. Even the smallest willingness cracks open the door for light to enter. And that is the secret most never learn. Healing is not about perfection, it's about permission. You don't need to get every thought right. You only need to stop rehearsing the ones that hurt. Stop repeating the old sentences that say, I'm too late, too damaged, too far gone. None of it is true. Right now, as you listen, your body is already responding to new instructions. Each calm breath tells your nervous system, I am safe. Each moment of awareness rewires an old pattern. Each loving word sends a signal through every organ saying, you can rest now. There is a moment in every healing journey when the question changes from how do I fix myself to what if I never needed fixing. That single thought becomes a doorway. Because the truth is, your body has been trying to protect you all along. The pain was not punishment. It was a message asking for love. When you think like this, when you choose thoughts that comfort instead of criticize, you become your own healer. You begin to see illness not as betrayal, but as communication. You stop fighting your body and start listening to it. And in that listening, energy returns, peace returns, balance returns. Imagine standing in front of your mirror tomorrow morning and saying, my body loves me enough to speak. Imagine touching the part of you that hurts and whispering, I'm here. You can relax now. That one thought changes your chemistry. That one thought begins to rebuild trust between mind and body. You've spent years trying to think your way out of pain. Now it's time to think your way into peace. The difference is direction. Instead of running from what hurts, you turn toward it with compassion. Instead of asking, why me, you ask, what are you trying to show me? This is how wisdom grows. Every thought we think is creating our future. That truth is not philosophy, it's biology. Your future health is being written right now, not by fate, but by focus. Each new thought is a seed. Will you plant fear or will you plant faith? Healing does not demand years, it demands sincerity. The body doesn't need you to conquer it, it needs you to stop attacking it with thought. And when you do, healing comes faster than you imagined. Pain that lingered for years begins to soften. Emotions that once ruled you start to dissolve. So take a deep breath. Notice the next thought that passes through your mind. Is it kind? Does it comfort? Would you say it to a child you love? If not, it does not belong in your body. Replace it gently. Say, I am healing in this very moment. Let your words become medicine, because every organ is listening. Every cell is waiting for direction. Every emotion is a messenger, not a mistake. The moment you start thinking in harmony with love, the body follows, the mind clears, and life begins to mirror your new belief. I am whole and I am safe. If you think this is too easy, remember it's supposed to be. Healing was never meant to be earned through suffering. It was meant to be allowed through love. The effort was never the cure, the thought was. The loving thought, the forgiving thought. The thought that says, I choose peace now. So for the next few minutes, open your heart and listen. You don't need to strive. You only need to soften. You don't need to prove. You only need to allow. And if you stay, if you truly listen, one single thought could shift everything. Because the truth has been waiting in you all along. When you think with love, your body obeys with healing. When you forgive yourself, your life begins again. And when you choose one gentle thought, you finally heal. Every illness, every ache, every uneasy stirring within the body begins not in flesh, but in thought. Thought is the invisible garden where all forms are born. The mind is the first sculptor, and the body merely follows its instruction. What we think, we live. What we believe, we become. When I first discovered this, I was astonished at its simplicity. Could something so powerful truly be so gentle? Could a thought something invisible create pain or release it? Yet as I watched my own life, I saw it was so. My body mirrored every idea I held about myself. It was never my enemy. It was my most faithful listener. There was a time when I treated pain as a stranger, something to fear, to silence, to fight. I thought it invaded me from outside, some punishment or accident. But the more I resisted, the louder it became. Only when I stopped running and listened did I understand it was not punishment at all. It was communication. Pain is only a thought that has taken form, a message written in the language of the body. It says, beloved, something in you needs gentleness. The ache, the fatigue, the tightness, these are love letters waiting to be read, not enemies to be destroyed. The moment we listen, the body sighs in relief. We are never victims of our bodies. Our bodies are the most loyal servants we will ever have. They obey every belief we hold, even those that hurt us. They do not judge the command, they simply follow it. If we whisper, I am unsafe, the body tightens to protect. If we affirm, I am loved, it relaxes and opens. A single loving thought can soften the body faster than years of worry. Muscles that have been braced for decades melt in moments when they finally hear kindness. The body responds immediately to love because it recognizes its native language. It has been waiting all along for a tender word from you. Healing begins not in treatment, but in belief. A body that is constantly told it is broken cannot thrive. But one that hears, you are safe now, you are loved, begins to reorganize itself. Cells renew, breath deepens, digestion calms. The entire system adjusts to match the vibration of peace. I have seen this in my own life and in countless others. A woman once told me she had spoken kindly to her heart for a month, saying, I love you, thank you for beating. Her blood pressure lowered without new medicine. Why? Because the body listens. It believes every word we repeat, whether fear or love. Thoughts spoken in fear constrict the body. They tighten the chest, shorten the breath, and drain energy. Thoughts spoken in love do the opposite. They release, expand, soothe. Each thought is a command to the cells to hold or to let go. The body takes its orders not from science, but from spirit expressed through thought. Listen to your inner language. Notice the phrases you speak silently. I can't handle this. I'm falling apart. Something must be wrong with me. These are instructions, not idle words. The subconscious does not question, it obeys. When we speak this way long enough, the body faithfully builds the reality we describe. But the miracle is that the moment we change the message, the body changes its response. When we say, I am healing, I am becoming whole, I am safe now, the cells hear and adjust. The body, like a loyal child, says, ah, this is what we are now, and begins to align itself accordingly. The body is not broken, it is obedient. It has been doing exactly what you told it to do through thought, tone, and belief. Even illness is obedience, an attempt to carry out the mind's unspoken orders. When you change the orders, the body rejoices. It no longer needs to cry through pain to get your attention. Healing does not begin with action. It begins with permission. We do not need to earn it. We only need to allow it. The thought, I am willing to heal, is more powerful than any medicine administered in resistance. Willingness opens the door. The moment we decide to think differently about ourselves, life enters. When you say, I am safe in my body, the body responds instantly. You may feel your shoulders lower, your jaw unclench, your breath deepen. Safety is the foundation of healing. Without it, the body remains on alert, clinging to tension like armor. But when you tell it the danger is over, it relaxes and begins to repair. I once met a man who had lived for years with back pain. He told me, it feels as though I am carrying the world. I said, maybe that is not just a feeling, it is a thought your body is performing. When he began saying, I am supported by life, his pain eased. His thought changed, and so did his back. The body expresses metaphors. A stiff neck reflects stubborn thought. A sore throat reveals words unspoken. Tired eyes mirror thoughts we refuse to see. Healing begins when we stop asking, what's wrong with me? And start asking, what is my body trying to tell me? Every symptom is a teacher disguised as discomfort. This truth is not new. It is as ancient as life itself. Our ancestors knew that the mind and body are one. They spoke to their organs as friends. They blessed their food before eating. They prayed gratitude into their water. They understood that thought transforms matter. We are simply remembering what they never forgot. If you have spent years battling your body, please rest now. The battle was never necessary. You were never at war with yourself. You were misunderstanding your own language. When you stop attacking and begin listening, the body softens immediately. It does not hold grudges, it only waits for love. You do not need to understand every detail of your body's wisdom to heal. You only need to change the atmosphere within you. Replace harsh self-talk with kindness. Replace criticism with curiosity. Replace fear with faith. The body will take care of the rest. It always knows what to do when peace returns. If your mind says, I don't believe this, that's all right. Belief grows through repetition. The body has heard fear for so long that love feels unfamiliar. Keep repeating the loving thought anyway. Every kind word you offer plants a new seed, and the garden of the body begins to grow in that direction. Healing thought is not loud or dramatic. It is gentle, consistent, and sincere. It does not demand proof, it simply trusts. The mind may doubt, but the soul already knows. The same intelligence that grows trees and heals wounds knows exactly how to restore balance within you. You need only cooperate with it. You are not your illness, You are the thinker of your thoughts. And when the thinker changes its thought, the form must change accordingly. This is not magic, it is law. As within, so without. The body is the servant of the mind. To think lovingly is to heal continuously. Each time you speak to yourself with compassion, you are rewriting your biology. Each time you choose a thought of peace over panic, you are teaching the body a new rhythm. The cells listen to every whisper. Imagine how they respond when they hear you are loved, you are safe, you can rest now. Do not underestimate the quiet thought. The universe itself began with a thought, let there be light. Your healing, too, begins with a thought, let there be peace. You may not see it at first, but just as morning follows night, the body will follow the mind that has chosen love. There is no condition too old, no habit too deep, no diagnosis too severe that love cannot reach it. The power that created this body knows exactly how to restore it. Healing is not about control, it is about surrendering to that intelligence with faith instead of fear. Begin now. Sit quietly and notice the next thought that enters your mind. Ask, is this thought helping me heal or keeping me afraid? If it comforts you, keep it. If it wounds you, release it gently. Thought by thought, word by word, you are rebuilding the foundation of health from the inside out. Take a deep breath and speak softly. I am safe in my body, and my body loves me. Feel how that sentence changes the air around you. Feel the way your breath deepens, as if your lungs were sighing with relief. You have just given your body its most cherished gift, permission to heal. Repeat this thought often. Say it in the morning before you rise. Whisper it at night before you sleep. The body hears and believes. Healing does not arrive as thunder, it arrives as stillness. It begins the moment you believe one loving thought, and from that single seed, miracles grow. Every organ of your body is a listener. Each one hears the tone of your inner voice and translates it into function. The heart responds to joy and closes under sorrow. The stomach tightens at fear. The skin blushes at shame. Your body speaks the language of emotion far before the mind gives it words. There was a time I ignored this language. When pain arrived, I silenced it with distraction. When tension came, I called it normal. I thought my body was betraying me. I did not know it was trying to protect me, to deliver messages my heart was too afraid to hear. Every ache was a word in love's vocabulary. The body never lies. It tells the truth of our inner state long before we admit it to ourselves. A calm body is a calm mind in motion. A tired body is a soul that has been saying yes when it means no. When the body begins to ache, it is not turning against you, it is begging you to listen differently. Pain is not punishment. It is not life's judgment. It is the body's way of calling for gentler thoughts. When we meet it with kindness, it relaxes. When we fight it, it grows louder. The body is like a small child tugging on your sleeve. It only needs your attention, your comfort, your reassurance that it is safe. So many people treat their bodies like enemies, trying to control, correct, or criticize them into health. But what we attack, we tighten. What we love, we loosen. The moment you offer understanding instead of blame, your cells begin to breathe again. The body heals in the presence of love as flowers bloom in sunlight. Think of your body as a sacred home. Every organ is a room with its own story. The heart remembers joy. The lungs hold grief until we exhale forgiveness. The stomach digests both food and experience. The throat carries unspoken truth. The body is autobiography written in sensation. I recall a time when I felt constant tension in my neck and shoulders. No medicine helped. Then one morning I realized I had been carrying the weight of responsibilities that did not belong to me. The moment I released the thought, my body followed. Pain was the teacher. Awareness was the cure. We often speak as though the body must be forced into obedience, but the body is already obedient to our beliefs. It does not require discipline, it requires dialogue. Speak to it kindly. Ask, what are you trying to tell me? The answer will not always be words. Sometimes it will be a feeling, a sigh, a tear. Healing does not require harsh effort. It begins the moment we whisper to the body, you can relax now. I am listening. That single sentence can change your chemistry. Muscles release their guard, blood flows freely, breath deepens. The body finally feels that it no longer has to shout to be heard. I once met a woman who had struggled with chronic stomach pain. No doctor could find the reason. In our conversation, she confessed she had been swallowing her anger for years to keep peace in her family. When she began to express herself gently but honestly, her pain eased. The body had been waiting for truth. Every unspoken emotion finds a place to live. If you do not express it with words, it lodges in tissue. Anger becomes tightness, fear becomes shallow breath, guilt becomes fatigue. Joy, however, moves freely. It does not linger. It circulates. This is why laughter heals. It lets energy move again. Forgiveness is the body's favorite medicine. I have seen men and women release years of pain simply by releasing years of resentment. One man's arthritis softened when he forgave his father. A woman's migraines vanished when she stopped criticizing herself. The body relaxes when the heart does. When you stop fighting your symptoms, the body feels safe enough to release them. The war inside ends and healing begins. Fighting illness only tightens the pattern that created it. You cannot hate pain away. You can only love it into silence. Understanding is always the first remedy. Loving attention is more potent than any pill. When you place your hand on the part of you that hurts and say, I am here, I love you, you are giving the body permission to rest. The warmth of your own hand is the touch it has been waiting for. The body trusts you when you show up in kindness. Gratitude accelerates recovery. Each time you thank your body, you increase its vitality. Thank your feet for carrying you, your eyes for seeing, your lungs for breathing. Gratitude tells every cell you are appreciated. The cells respond with enthusiasm. The body blooms under appreciation as surely as gardens bloom under rain. If you have been harsh with your body, do not feel guilty. Guilt is just another form of fear. Begin again, gently. Every kind thought you think toward yourself is a new beginning. The body does not hold grudges. It rejoices each time you remember to love it again. Listen now to your body. Where does it speak? Maybe in your shoulders, your chest, your stomach. Place a hand there. Breathe into that space. Imagine your breath as light, moving softly through the tension. Whisper, I hear you, you are safe now. The body responds instantly to gentleness, it the safe. Recognizes home. So much of healing is simply allowing yourself to feel. The body aches not because it wishes to suffer, but because it has been silenced. When tears come, let them. When anger rises, breathe through it. When weariness surfaces, rest. Emotion moves like weather, let it pass through, and the sky of your being clears. You are not the pain, you are the awareness behind it. The pain is temporary, but your spirit is eternal. The more you identify with the light of awareness, the less power pain holds. You can bless it as a teacher, learn its lesson, and let it go. What you bless transforms. What you resist persists. Do not measure healing by the disappearance of symptoms alone. Sometimes the body releases through sensation, through temporary discomfort. Healing is a process of communication, not punishment. Trust the process. The same intelligence that keeps your heart beating knows exactly what it's doing. The mind may not understand how healing unfolds, but the body does. It has been evolving toward balance since before you were born. All it needs is your cooperation, your willingness to think thoughts that soothe instead of scare, to speak words that comfort instead of criticize. Each morning, before you rise, thank your body for waking with you. As you stretch, say, "Good morning, beloved home. Thank you for another day to love and be loved." This simple ritual aligns your thoughts with gratitude and sets the tone for harmony throughout the day. The body listens and responds. Notice how your body reacts to different emotions throughout the day. Joy expands your chest, worry contracts it, gratitude warms your skin, resentment chills it. When you learn to read these signals, you begin to live in partnership with yourself. The body becomes not a burden, but a beloved guide. You do not have to analyze every pain, you need only bring love to it. The mind seeks complexity. The heart offers simplicity. Love is the translation key between thought and flesh. When you send love into the area that aches, you are rewriting the message. You are telling the body, we are safe, you may rest. Healing does not come from adding more, but from removing resistance. Each time you relax, you open another window for light to enter. Each time you breathe deeply, you invite renewal. Each time you think a kind thought, you rewrite the body's instructions from survival to harmony. Your body was never your enemy. It has been your most devoted servant. It worked tirelessly to keep you alive, even when you spoke unkindly to it. It carried you when your heart was heavy. It absorbed your stress to protect your spirit. It deserves not criticism, but awe. So take a moment now, close your eyes, and thank every part of yourself. Thank your heart for its rhythm, your hands for their work, your spine for its strength, your skin for its sensitivity. Feel your entire body glowing with appreciation. This is the true language of healing gratitude spoken through awareness. If you listen closely, you will notice that the body begins to hum softly when it feels loved. There is warmth, calm, and a quiet rhythm of life that returns. This is balance, reawakening. The body is saying, yes, I remember. This is how it feels to be home. Let this be your daily practice, to listen with tenderness, to speak with kindness, to move with gratitude. The more you do, the more your body trusts you. And a body that trusts is a body that heals quickly, gracefully, naturally. Before you rest tonight, place your hands upon your heart and say, my body hears only loving words, and it responds with ease. Repeat it until the body believes you, until the breath deepens, until peace fills every corner of you. The body will answer with a sigh of relief, whispering back the same message in its own language. Thank you for listening. Fear was my first language. For years, it guided my choices and shaped my body. It whispered through every anxious thought, be careful, be smaller, expect less. I believed fear was safety. But safety built on fear is not safety at all. It is a cage with invisible walls, decorated with polite smiles and silent worry. The mind, left unguarded, repeats fear like a hymn. It circles the same worries until they carve deep grooves in the nervous system. We begin to think that these grooves are truth, yet they are only habits, thoughts rehearsed so often that the body believes them. To heal, we must teach the mind a new melody. You cannot heal while rehearsing worry. The mind must be trained to speak faith instead of fear, gentleness instead of judgment. This training is not harsh discipline, it is tenderness. It is the choice, moment after moment, to replace the old echo of panic with a new whisper of peace. Every fearful thought is a child calling for comfort. It is not evil, only frightened. When we meet it with anger, it clings tighter, but when we meet it with love, it quiets. The mind is not our enemy. It is a student repeating lessons learned long ago. Fear is simply the memory of a time when love felt unsafe. I remember sitting one night in deep worry about my health. My mind raced through possibilities, each one darker than the last. Finally, I said aloud, "What do you need, dear mind?" The answer came softly, reassurance. So I placed a hand on my heart and said, I am safe now. The storm quieted. It was never knowledge I needed, it was faith. To transform thought is not to fight fear, but to understand it. Fear only wants to protect us. It says, be careful, don't trust, stay small. These are the mind's attempts to prevent pain. But when love grows stronger, protection turns into limitation. What once guarded us begins to confine us. Healing is the release of old guards. We must become gentle observers of our thoughts. Each morning, notice what you wake up thinking. Are your first words loving or fearful? The moment you become aware, you gain choice. Awareness itself is healing, for it shines light into the dark corners where old worries hide. Ask yourself, does this thought bring me peace or tension? If it brings tension, it is fear disguised as truth. You need not argue with it, simply choose again. The mind will follow the direction of your attention. Turn gently toward calm, and fear begins to dissolve like mist before the morning sun. I used to ask myself constantly, what's wrong with me? Each repetition deepened despair. One day I changed the question, what do I need to know? That small shift turned panic into peace. The mind, once criticized, opened like a flower when spoken to kindly. Healing thought does not accuse, it inquires with love. Faith is not blind belief in something outside yourself. Faith is trust in life's intelligence already flowing through you. It is knowing that every cell, every heartbeat, every breath is guided by the same wisdom that moves the stars. When you trust that wisdom, fear loses its authority. The body is designed to heal itself when not interrupted by fear. Faith clears the way for this natural order. You have seen a cut close, a bruise fade, a flower reach for sunlight. None of these demand effort. They happen through trust in the process of life. Healing works the same way when you stop interrupting it with doubt. When fear speaks, it always says, what if? When faith speaks, it says, even if. Fear imagines disaster. Faith imagines resilience. Fear counts the risks. Faith counts the blessings. You have both voices within you. Which one you feed determines your experience of the world. I often tell people, you are not your thoughts, you are their chooser. The mind is like a garden. If you leave it unattended, weeds will grow. But when you tend to it daily with loving words, flowers of peace appear naturally. No struggle, no fight, just gentle care and consistency. Repetition is the soil of belief. Whatever you repeat, the subconscious accepts as true. That is why worry becomes reality. It is practice faith in what you don't want. To transform thought, practice new sentences. Repeat, life supports me in every way. Say it until it sounds familiar, for familiarity is the cradle of faith. The mind believes what it hears most often. Speak kindly to it. Speak daily. If you cannot yet say, I am healed, say, I am willing to believe in healing. Willingness cracks open the door. Once the light enters, belief follows naturally. You need not force conviction, you only need to invite it. Faith grows through evidence, and evidence grows through practice. Each time you replace a fearful thought with a loving one and notice peace returning, the mind learns. It says, ah, love works better than fear. This realization becomes self-reinforcing. Soon, fear's arguments sound weak beside faith's calm certainty. To think differently does not mean to ignore reality, it means to choose a higher one. Fear says, look how bad it is. Faith says, look how much love is still here. Both are true, but one heals while the other harms. Choose the thought that soothes. The body will thank you immediately. Sometimes fear disguises itself as logic. It says, be realistic. But reality is always filtered through perception, and perception is thought. The most realistic thing you can do is think thoughts that create peace, for peace restores clear vision. From clarity, right action flows effortlessly. I have found that fear diminishes the moment we breathe deeply. Breath is love made visible. Each inhale reminds the body, I am alive, I am safe. Each exhale releases an old story. The breath carries faith without needing words. It is the body's natural prayer, the rhythm of surrender and trust. When the mind insists on fear, thank it for trying to help. Say, I see you, dear thought. Thank you for warning me, but love will guide me now. Gratitude disarms fear. Acknowledgement soothes it. Fighting thoughts only strengthens them, but thanking them dissolves their need to return. Faith is not learned, it is remembered. You were born trusting. As a child, you did not question whether you deserved breath or food. You simply received. You slept peacefully because you trusted that life would hold you. That innocence is not lost. It sleeps beneath layers of caution. Healing awakens it again. I have often said that every thought we think is creating our future. It is not a metaphor, it is a law. Each thought is a seed dropped into the fertile ground of mind. Plant fear and you harvest tension. Plant love and you harvest harmony. You cannot plant roses and expect thorns, nor plant thorns and expect roses. Fear often shouts, faith whispers. To hear faith, we must grow still, turn off the noise of worry, and listen within. There in the quiet, a calm voice says, all is well. You may not hear it clearly at first, but the more you return to silence, the louder love becomes. Peace does not chase, it waits for your attention. When you begin to live from faith, life rearranges itself to support you. Doors open, coincidences multiply, the right people appear. This is not luck, it is alignment. The universe always responds to the vibration you hold. Fear attracts confusion, faith attracts clarity. You are the magnet, and thought is your charge. If you find yourself sinking into fear again, do not scold yourself. Simply notice. Awareness is the reset button. Each moment offers a new chance to choose love. Healing thought is not perfection, it is persistence. You fall, you rise, you remember again and again until remembering becomes natural. One of my favorite affirmations is, I am supported by life and all is well. Say it now, softly. Feel how your body reacts. Shoulders drop, breath flows, heart steadies. These are the signs of the nervous system responding to truth. The body recognizes peace faster than the mind can understand it. Fear divides, faith unites. Fear says, me against the world. Faith says, I am part of the whole. When you think from unity, tension melts, the heart opens. Compassion grows naturally because faith sees only connection where fear once saw separation. Healing cannot exist in separation, it blossoms in oneness. Each time you choose a thought of faith, you are educating the body anew. Muscles soften, digestion improves, immunity strengthens. The body loves consistency. If you feed it peace daily, it learns to expect peace. In that expectation lies the foundation of health. Do not worry if you still hear fear's voice from time to time. Even when clouds appear, the sun remains. Faith does not require absence of doubt. It requires persistence despite it. When fear says, what if? Answer gently, even then I am loved. Love is the final word in every conversation between body and mind. Before you rest tonight, find one fearful thought you have been repeating. Hold it tenderly as you would hold a frightened child. Then speak a new thought in its place. For example, if you often think, I am not safe, say softly, I am supported by life and all is well. Say it until the new thought feels warm, until the body sighs with relief. This is how we transform thought, not through force, but through repetition of love. You are training the mind to trust what the soul already knows, that you are guided, protected, and loved beyond measure. And as faith becomes your habit, healing becomes your nature. No healing is ever complete without forgiveness. We may nourish the body and train the mind, but if the heart remains heavy with resentment, peace cannot stay. Unforgiveness is like a stone in the shoe. It does not stop the journey, but it makes every step painful. To heal is to finally take the stone out. For years, I believed forgiveness meant saying that what happened was acceptable. I resisted it fiercely, thinking that if I forgave, I was letting others off the hook. What I did not understand then is that forgiveness is not approval, it is freedom. It releases me from carrying a story that no longer serves my peace. Anger is heavy, dear one. It ties the soul to moments long past. Each time we replay a wound, we relive the pain. The body tenses, the breath shortens, the mind hardens. We think we are protecting ourselves, but we are imprisoning ourselves. Forgiveness is not weakness, it is strength, choosing light over history. I remember the first time I truly forgave. My heart had been tight for years, filled with words unsaid. I sat quietly and whispered, "I release you. I will no longer carry what you did." It felt strange at first, like letting go of a familiar weight. Then came tears, then calm, and finally a stillness that felt like truth. The moment we forgive, energy that was locked in anger begins to move again. Forgiveness is not an act of will, it is a surrender to love. The heart says, "I am tired of fighting," and in that weariness, peace enters. It is the most sacred fatigue, the exhaustion that precedes rest in God. Resentment is poison disguised as protection. We think it guards us from being hurt again, but it only ensures that the hurt never leaves. The body remembers resentment. It lodges in the muscles, the joints, the organs. Each unhealed grievance is a weight the body must carry until love lifts it. I have seen people heal physically the moment they forgave. One woman's chronic pain dissolved after she released her anger toward her mother. Another man's migraine ceased when he forgave himself for a past mistake. The body breathes again when the heart finally says, "Enough, I choose peace instead." Forgiveness does not mean you must invite everyone back into your life. It means you no longer allow their memory to live rent-free in your body. You can love someone from afar. You can bless them without calling them. Forgiveness is internal housekeeping, clearing old dust so new light can enter. Let us take a moment now. Bring to mind someone who has hurt you. Perhaps their face still stirs emotion. Breathe gently. Imagine them standing before you, not as they were in that moment of pain, but as a child, confused, frightened, doing the best they could with what they knew. Every hurt begins in misunderstanding. Now whisper silently, "I see your fear, and I release you." You do not have to force compassion. Simply recognize their humanity. All suffering stems from ignorance of love. When you see this clearly, judgment softens. Forgiveness becomes less about them and more about your decision to be free. Forgiveness is not forgetting, it is remembering without pain. The memory remains, but it loses its power to wound. The heart becomes like clear water, it reflects everything but holds nothing heavy. This is emotional clarity, and from it all physical and spiritual healing flows. We often think forgiveness must happen all at once, but it is a process, unfolding layer by layer. You may forgive in the morning and feel anger again by night. That does not mean you have failed, it means you are peeling away old patterns. Each repetition of "I forgive" weakens the habit of pain. As you practice, begin to notice how resentment feels in the body. Perhaps it sits in your stomach, tightens your throat, or hardens your jaw. Each time you feel it, place your hand there and say, "You can relax now. We are safe." The body listens to forgiveness even faster than the mind does. The most vital forgiveness is self-forgiveness. The mind can justify anger toward others, but guilt toward oneself is often hidden and more corrosive. The body carries this guilt like a shadow, long after the mind forgets the event. The heart whispers, "I should have known better," and the body responds with fatigue. I remember forgiving myself for the years I had lived in fear. I placed my hand over my chest and said, "I release you, dear one. You were only doing your best." That moment changed everything. The tension in my shoulders eased, my breath deepened. Self-forgiveness restored the trust I had lost within. Many illnesses are rooted in guilt. The body becomes a canvas for self-punishment when the mind refuses mercy. Yet no good ever comes from suffering for the past. The divine never demands repayment, it only asks that we return to love. Self-forgiveness is how we say yes to that invitation. Some of my students have told me, "I can forgive others, but not myself." And I tell them, then forgiveness is not yet complete. For until the heart turns inward with compassion, the lesson remains unfinished. We are not exempt from the love we give. We are its first recipients. The cup must be filled before it can overflow. When you forgive yourself, you teach yourselves a new language, one of safety, not defense. The nervous system, long on alert, begins to settle. The body relaxes because it no longer expects punishment. This is why forgiveness is not just emotional, it is biological. Every system responds to peace. Think of the heart as a doorway. Resentment closes it, forgiveness opens it. When it opens, life rushes in fresh air, new possibilities, clearer relationships. You will notice that people respond differently to you when your heart is free. They feel your calm, and your calm invites their own. Even the smallest forgiveness creates ripples. You might forgive someone silently while standing in line, or forgive yourself after a small mistake. These tiny acts accumulate, softening the entire field of your life. Forgiveness, practiced daily, becomes your natural state, a light breeze of grace moving through everything you do. If you find resistance, meet it kindly. The part of you that cannot forgive is still hurting. Speak to it as you would to a child. "I know it's hard. I know you're scared. But we don't have to hold this forever." Compassion toward your resistance is itself an act of forgiveness. Forgiveness and understanding are sisters. The more we understand, the easier it becomes to release. Every person acts according to their consciousness in that moment. When you truly grasp that, anger fades. You realize that what they did was not about your worth, but about their confusion. I often think of forgiveness as a return to rhythm. Anger holds the breath, tightens the heartbeat, interrupts the flow. Forgiveness restores harmony. It is not passive, it is the most active form of healing, because it reestablishes the circulation of love. The moment we forgive, energy begins to move again. If you cannot yet forgive, begin with the willingness to forgive. Say, "I am willing to release this pain." Willingness opens the door. Love will walk through in its own time. You do not have to push, you only have to allow. Life never demands perfection, only openness. Forgiveness is a prayer disguised as release. When you whisper, "I forgive," you are saying, "I choose peace instead of pain." The universe hears this prayer and responds instantly. The outer world rearranges to match your inner freedom. People change, circumstances shift, and you begin to experience grace. Every time you forgive, you are clearing the path between you and your true self. You become lighter, more radiant. The body mirrors that lightness, digestion improves, muscles soften, sleep deepens. You awaken refreshed, not because circumstances change, but because the heart no longer carries weight. You are not condoning harm, you are ending self-harm. Forgiveness is not about what others deserve, it is about what you deserve. peace, health, and happiness. When you understand this, you realize forgiveness is the highest form of self-respect. Let us close this part with a gentle practice. Place your hand over your heart and say, as I forgive myself and others, I release the past. My body, my mind, and my heart are now free to heal. Say it slowly, with feeling. Feel the heart expand beneath your hand, the body softening as it listens. Repeat these words whenever old memories arise.